to page 18 of your manuals, 18, 19, all the way to 22. So starting from page 18, we're going to talk about the safety procedures of firing the light anti-tank weapon. Now, the PCML is considered a soft launch weapon. That means there is no backblast. So for example, if I was to stand here and fire my weapon, you guys won't get hurt. But essentially, just due to the fact that Arma 3 is easily moddable, and we might be playing with different mods on, if I was to download a mod that made my PCML have backblast, or if I was to download a mod where I was using a different rocket launcher and it wasn't soft launch, it could effectively hurt my teammates. So because of that, the LBCU, we have a directive where we announce with whatever rocket launchers we're firing, soft launch or hard launch, or whether it's backblast or not, we always use the backblast clearing drill. So with the backblast clearing drill, it's very simple. The guy holding the rocket launcher, he aims it down range, all right? He calls out very simple following warnings, which is BBDA clear. Before I fire, I'll call BBDA clear. I will press the Alt key, look to my rear, and I'll make sure that no one is behind me. And that distance is 45 degrees outwards for a good, let me check, I think it's 20 meters. Yep. So it's 20 meters to the back. It's 20 meters to the back and 45-degree angle. So effectively, even though I'm to your left a bit, guys, you are still in my backblast area. So before I fire, I'm gonna get you guys to move up to the firing line a bit. Yep, just move a bit upwards. Whoever's sitting on his ass. Who is that? Andy, could you? Yeah, push up. And I'll push back a bit as well. So before I'm gonna fire, I'll call up BBDA clear. After that, it's up to my teammates to stay clear. I'll check one more time by pressing my Alt key, looking behind me, making sure no one's behind me. And when it's clear, I will aim down my sights and fire my weapon. BBDA clear, my rear. Rear is clear. Fire. Okay, so that is effectively the backblast clearing drill. Before I let you guys touch the rocket launchers, I want to talk about the mil dots on the PCML. Now, effectively, if you are using TMR mod, your mil dots will be completely different from mine. So I suggest during LBCU operations, do not use TMR mod. It also makes your PCML one shot only, and that's not preferable as well. So don't use TMR mod when you're doing LBCU training, just saying. So with the mil dots for the vanilla version of the PCML, the increments are a bit strange, because they don't follow off basic 50, 100, 150 meter mil dot increments. They follow their own little pattern and little system. And something you need to take note of is that the PCMLs, when you fire a rocket, the initial drop, the ballistic drop of the rocket, before the aerofoils kick in to lift the rocket itself, it's gonna drop significantly into the ground, or towards the ground. As you can see from page 20. So in page 20, the wavy red line, that is how the rocket is going to fly. So initially it's going to drop down. So be wary of that. Cody, stay still. What are you doing? There. All right. So I'm going to briefly tell you what the mil dot increments are. The fourth mil dot on the PCML, that is effective for 200 meters. The fifth mil dot for the PCML, that is effective for 100 and 300 meters. And the last mil dot is 400 meters. Just keep that in mind when you're firing a rifle. Firing a PCML. And that can be seen once again on pages 19 and 20 on where to aim with your PCML. Lastly, the last theory to cover the PCML are the targets of preference, or the preferred conditions before firing a PCML. The first target of preference is a target that is stationary. Now PCMLs, they take 3 to 4 hits to really take out a MBT. MBT stands for main battle tank. So effectively, your rockets are basically pretty. You got to use them wisely, pretty much. They're hard to come by. They're heavy. You don't want to waste them, basically. So that's why we have targets of preference. So the first target of preference is a target that's completely stationary. That is your preferred target to hit. Secondly, a target that has his engine or his fuel reserves exposed. Usually for MBTs, that is the back of the vehicle. Third target of preference is the target that has less armor, or the target that is showing his least armored side. Most armored vehicles, you can tell which side is least armored by the fact that the armor is not sloping. So if you guys zoom in on those MBTs at the front there, 300 meters, the front of the tank is sloping. That is the most armored part of the tank. The least armored part is usually the side or the rear of the tank. So just take note of that. Sloping armor is usually more effective as against anti-tank weapons. And lastly, the preference of target that is the fourth preference is a target that is side-on, and that is because side-on targets are much easier to hit, especially if they're stationary, than targets that are front-on, because the area is less exposed when they're front-on. So with those conditions and theories in mind, I'll get you guys to pick up PCMLs and some rockets and just practice your firing at those targets over there. Do not forget to say BBDA clear and check your rear before firing. Make sure everyone is out of your back blast area.
BBDA clear.
BBDA clear. BBDA clear.
BBDA clear.
Don't forget to say, don't forget to say BBDA clear.
BBDA clear.
Facebook back good.
BBDA clear. BBDA clear.
That's a negative, Raven. Your BBDA was not clear.
Don't forget to check your
You
6,
didn't
guys.
look.
BBDA clear.
Alright. Ceasefire, ceasefire. Ceasefire. Okay. So, BBDA effectively stands for Backblast Danger Area Clear, guys. In case you guys are wondering. Hang on, let me look at the theory. That's pretty much all for PCMLs. Like I said, do take note that you can lock on with PCMLs for the vanilla version. Do take advantage of that feature. But do note that with the lock-on feature, the ballistic drop, the initial ballistic drop of your weapons still apply. So what I mean by that, if there is a piece of furniture or a piece of terrain between you and your target, and it looks like your rocket might be able to go over it because you're aiming straight at the target, but your rocket does initially drop. So if there is something in front of you, make sure that it is low enough such that your rocket won't fall into it, or that you are clear of the object that is in front of you, because that rocket does initially drop down before reaching the target. I'll get you guys to drop your weapons. So just drop your PCMLs, drop your rifles, follow me to the grenade range.